Welcome to Business Doctor channel. In the last video, we saw the three cardinal rules for setting up a vision and achieving the success of it. I thought we'll discuss something slightly more on those three cardinal rules for the benefit of the new viewers. I'll just repeat the cardinal rules what we discussed earlier. The first one is what it takes to be. The second one is whose problem is that anyway. And the third one is the skin in the game. So let's slightly discuss more on each of those 3 points. So the first one is what it takes to be. So for example, to be a consultant on a particular subject, so someone needs to be a master in the subject, in a position to articulate and is able to make the client or the other person, the recipient of this consultancy, in a position to accept and do whatever that the consultancy is and reap the benefit. The same way, in a sports industry, if someone wants to become a top-notch tennis professional, for example, like I want to be a number one in the world, like Roger Federer or someone else, then the person needs to get first trained to how to use the racket, how to use the court, how to hit the ball, how to take the ball. And it is not a one day affair, so it is a consecutive, repeated time the person has to practice to become a master of it. Then gets into the ATP ranking circuit, play with a different set of people at different places, which means there is a lot of travel. So all these things will be part of what it takes to be a number one in tennis. The same length and breadth. If suppose someone wants to be a PhD student or PhD scholar, people think that PhD is a 5 year course. The same way, if you ask a student what it takes to be an engineer, for example, he or she would say that it will be a 4 year course. It is not actually 4 years. It is actually 12 years of schooling plus 4 years of specific engineering subject learning. It makes 16 years of learning. The same way for a PhD student, it takes about 16 plus say 5 years. It's 21 years of education would make a person a research scholar. So to putting up a vision in terms of I want to be like this, that's pretty easy, but the person needs to understand what it takes to become such a person. Okay, then the next point is that whose problem is that. So that once you set up a vision, obviously it is the responsibility of that person to do whatever that needs to be done to achieve that vision, and it is in particularly in that person's hand. It is not an outside of him, rather, or him or her. So the person needs to put in, and nobody is waiting for me to become a number one in ATP ranking, or become a great star in cricket, or to become a prime minister, or become a CEO of a company. It's only my vision which is going to drive me up to that point. So the problem, once I define and decide that that is my vision, so obviously it is my problem to pursue that, and I need to put in the best effort. This is where the third point comes, like the skin in the game. So the skin in the game is like I want to become a great sports person, or I want to become a great painter, or become a great engineer or a doctor. It's not that I just see surf the TV channel and yeah, I know what a painter would do, how he strokes the paintbrush, and know how he is able to make the paints, etc. The theoretical knowledge is one part of the story, whereas no, the person has to put in, like playing kabaddi. You can't be sitting outside and say that yeah, I play kabaddi. So you have to be onto the field. You have to practice. So that's where the skin in the game comes into play. Once the person is able to put in his best effort, the smart effort, the right effort, with the right set of planning, then the vision is probably is easier to achieve. And this is what it is expected out of this cardinal rule, that a person should be in a position to create a a sensible vision, and how he is able to set it up and pursue it. Then how he becomes a successful person. In the next video, we will discuss about how or what suits a person to be, or a kind of psychometry analysis, what could trigger him or her to be what kind of a person, and whether it would be possible, or rather probably it would be possible for that person to succeed or not. That we will see it in the next video. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.